All right, I'm gonna give you another look and let you see what I've done so far. I think the glare is pretty bad in a lot of ways here. It's no matter what I do, I can't seem to get out of the glare of the sun. Yeah, maybe I need to invest in a camera, but yeah, it probably ain't worth the trouble. Heck with it. You put up with it. It's a lousy picture. Sorry. All right. I've got the distributor in and all the wires. Boy, if that doesn't look like a mess. God. Huh. And I ran a remote oil filter on this. That's what all this is. It normally took a filter here, but this filter is no longer available in any form. So we did this. And then I ran it all the way in the back there and painted it black so you can't see it. But it's got a remote filter on it. And I got the carburetor on. And all this business end over here is sort of almost sewed up. I'm still farting with a bunch of little loose ends. Yeah, I guess we'll get it eventually. Put one thing on and then you have to fart with another thing because it's sort of in the way. I'm not so sure what they had in mind when they did all this stuff, but it's how it was run or what, but we'll see, I guess. I'll just keep farting with it until I get it. Let's see, I'm working on the battery boxes right now. That's what this is. I am going to run two 6-volt batteries. It was a 6-volt. That's the original battery box over there. And that one's okay. And this was a sort of a jack box for a jack and tools and whatever. And I took it out. It's looking down at the ground right there. That's part of the frame. And of course, that's the muffler. So it's sort of in the way. But I can get two small 6-volts in there. And I also have the fuel tank out. And it's clean. This tank was pretty daggone clean. A little bit of residue, so I cleaned the tank. And then I filled it full of motor oil. And then poured the motor oil out of it. And we'll see if that keeps it from rusting until I can actually get it in the car and get some fuel in it. I hope that'll work. We'll see. I did not coat this one or cut any holes in it because I didn't feel I needed to. Probably wouldn't have hurt to coat it just to make sure it stays nice and clean, but I'm going to put a remote filter on this. And here is the old toolbox I took out. This is what was in there. And she was hurting. Hurting way more than the one in the other car. The other car was pretty daggone good shape, and I didn't really want to cut it because it was in such good shape. But this one here, for some reason, is, rotted to death almost. It's rotted all through there. So I'm not even using this. I'm just going to I'm making a new one. And that's what this is. This is going to be something very similar to that. Hard to get these bends just right. This is going to be like that. And that's where my battery's going to sit, right in there. But I got to continue to bend it. Oh, let's see. Here is a fuel sender that I have yet to figure out how this sender works. There's all these little, let's see, yeah, all these little hockey pucks here. Got 3 of them, or yeah, 2 of them there and down here, and then this round thing here with a little pinhole in it. Man, I wish this phone was better. Terrible videos, but this lets me know what I did and when I did it. So that's it. I have no idea how this thing works, but this is in good shape. The other one I had for the other car, these areas were rotted and the bottom was rotted. This canister right here is riddled with holes, and this one's in really good shape. But I am not going to use the original gas gauge because it's missing on the car. This is in good shape, but the gauge is gone. So, that's going to be a problem. Unless I pull the gauge on the other car. Well, we'll see. If I understood how this thing works, I would probably go through the trouble to pull the gauge on the other car and put it in this, and then put I don't know, an old fuel gauge back in the thing so it looks like it has a fuel gauge. But I find it hard to believe this would work. Even though I don't see anything wrong with it. Maybe it's because I just don't understand what's going on here. Because the gauge has a sight glass in it, almost like a temperature gauge, thermometer or something. So I guess I'd have to fart with it and see what the heck's up. But I think it's more trouble than it's worth. I feel better if I just stuck it with a stick. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Save myself some time. And the temperature gauge is bad in this car. So this is what I got to cut up. There you go. I am going to cut this up, which is a mechanical gauge, and redo the face and paint the needle and get rid of the temperature and all that good stuff writing on it, make it look old, and cut everything away from it, and then put it in place. And this is going to be my gauge, but I got to make this gauge look like the original gauge, this is similar. Good enough. So that's that. That's all I could get. Let's see. That's, I guess, is really about all I've got here. I just wanted to show the battery box that I was making. And, it's sort of funny. Yeah, it's going to be funny when I get through with it, too, I'm sure. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Yeah. I got to go to Napa and pick up the belt for this. I ordered a belt. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. All right, guys. So that's it for the moment. Yeah, I'm running out of parts over here. Bunch of little trickly little things to do. It's the little things that drive you nuts, I've got to get all my fuel pumps together and see if I can find a fuel pump that'll work for more than about 5 minutes. These are all used fuel pumps, and I don't know where they came from and where they've been or how long they've been sitting. So I have to maybe carry a couple extras with me or something. I don't know. We'll see. So this whole thing could be a wreck. I'm sure I'm going to have oil leaks, fuel leaks, and it's already leaking oil, but I think I overfilled it, I hope. And it just runs out the back because that's the way these things are. Let's see. Yeah, so I have to hope everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to keep plodding along and start it up and, put on a white robe and try to find all the gory and nasty things that's going to be happening. All right, so later and bye until the next funny thing that I do. Bye.